So then probably the presentation should be within 12 minutes or so. Then for each presentations, probably we will actually have a kind of question and answer sessions. Okay, so then let me start the presentation. So I would like to invite the first speaker. I hope that he is now in online. As far as I heard that Professor Sarawit Narpiti from Chulalongkorn University will have a presentation through the teleconference or the Zoom or whatever. So then, Professor Sarawit, do you hear us? Is he online? No, not show up. If not, we may. Do you have any connection? Is he trying to access? Should I change the order of presentation?
ฮัลโหลฮัลโหลครับอาจารย์สรวิทย์ได้ยินไหมครับครับพูดนะไม่ดัง
Okay. Could you talk first? Okay. Okay, anyway, while waiting for Professor Sarawit to come, probably I may just wanted to change the order of presentation. So anyway, I would like to invite the second speaker, Professor Lantevin, and also the Dr. Gwendin Tuan, the Hanoi University of Science Technology. Okay. Would you kindly actually show the PowerPoint on for the second speaker? Oh, no.
ได้ยินปกติ
คือของเราตอนนี้
ฮัลโหลฮัลโหล
เสียงปกติครับแต่ของเขา
อาจารย์ได้ยินไหมครับอาจารย์ได้ยินใช่ไหมครับอาจารย์เปิดไมค์แล้วใช่ไหมครับเหมือนทางเสียงอันนี้จะไม่เข้าของเราอันนี้เดี๋ยวรอสักครู่นะครับอาจารย์เสียงไมค์ของทางฝั่งอาจารย์ครับไม่มี
เสียง
เสียง
จาก
มา
ซูมนะครับไม่เข้า
ลองให้เขาสลับเป็นเขาได้ไหมคือของอาจารย์เสียงไม่เข้าแต่ว่าพูดอยู่เดี๋ยว
ใช้ได้ไหม
อาจารย์คนนั้น
ข้ออาจารย์
Oh, really? Let's see.
So, and then
ฮัลโหลครับ
we can
มา
choose.
แล้ว
โอเค
โอเคครับ อาจารย์พูดเลยครับ
Okay, I think everyone could hear me now.
So, you mean the first speaker? Sorry? I see. Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, please, Professor Saravit Narupiti. But
Yes.
probably you may have a slide.
yes, I have slide. Did you see it?
Not
I-
yet.
I put my slide on already.
I see. Okay. Just a moment. What we see now is just a kind of, let's say, movie of myself. Unfortunately.
It will be the first page of my slide. Hope that you can see it now.
No, just a moment.
Okay, let me try again.
It's okay.
Tommy?
Okay, yes. We could see your desktop now.
It should be the first page of my slide.
Yes, we could see the
I-
cover page.
Yes. Okay. All right. Maybe
Okay.
I would like
Yes,
to
yes,
start.
please start.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Shibasaki, and sorry for delay. I would like to present my topic on leverage multi-GNSS for one application for advanced traffic analysis. Okay, let me introduce myself briefly. I am the associate professor at Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok, Thailand. And my interest is on intelligent transport systems. So I use a lot of vehicle tracking data, probe data. I do a lot of analytics, then further to connected automated vehicle and also smart mobility. Okay, and hope you see my slide well. This is overview on multi-GNSS in transportation. We can use a lot of multi-GNSS in many applications in transportation sector, from tracking, fleet management, and also today I will focus on traffic flow analysis, and but also we can do further for the future mobility and the new kind of the mobility like driving assistance. Okay, and I give you background on multi-GNSS tracking in Thailand. By law, some types of vehicles has to equip some tracking devices from large trucks, buses, public vans, and taxis. Currently, we have more than 500,000 vehicles equipped with these tracking devices and manage the data by GPS center, by Department of Land Transport. And for them, they use it for regulating, monitoring those vehicles. For example, speeding, overtime work hours, or identify drivers. Unfortunately, they don't disclose or share the data to other organizations. So we don't see a lot of wider applications in Thailand. And we have another organization called Intelligent Traffic Information Center, or ITIC. And they collect all kinds of transportation data, including tracking data. Tracking data is one of the key data in this organization. And now they have right around 100,000 vehicle tracking data in a day. So this is the example. In one time, maybe we have more than 50,000 vehicles tracking data online. And we can zoom in and see where those data come from. And we can see in a particular location. And let me zoom in again. Now we can see even individual vehicles that provide us data. It could be taxi, it could be delivery trucks, or the pink locations, yet identified types of vehicles. But of course, we can get data from these vehicles or locations. So those are current situations on vehicle tracking data in Thailand. Now I move to my main topic for today. the role of GNSS for traffic analysis and management. As I mentioned, GNSS can be used for many applications, from analysis of flow patterns or identify problem areas to real-time monitoring and real-time traffic signal control. I will introduce to you two projects that we have done it in Bangkok, Thailand. One is academic study, and the other is a big project called Rama 4 Model Project. And the first one is actually a study at Chulalongkorn University. We want to see the quality of the data that we can get from taxi tracking data. And we obtained this data from one taxi company. The strength of this data was it's quite frequent, every 3 to 5 seconds. So we analyzed the driving behaviors and also traffic condition. So by individual, and we selected only one segment of the road, which is in downtown Bangkok, Rama 4 Road. And on this road, we kind of analyze individual data from all individual vehicles. We can plot vehicle trajectory, so we can obtain a lot of traffic data, like the way that vehicle stopped, and the behavior of slow down and speed up, and even the speed they operated on one road section. So we obtain a lot of results, but again, these are a lot of results. So I want to skip this one, but again, we have confidence that the data has a good quality, and we can do further applications for transportation. The next project is Rama 4 Model Project, which is a big project started in 2019. It lasts for 3 years. And this is the real implementation projects that we try to solve traffic management problems. And we learned that in the past, we don't have a lot of data to start with. So in this project, we called our project data-centric approach, because we want to start with the data. And we seek for many sources of data. And the one in the highlight is the existing available data that we tried to use data from ITIC and also Grab company, as well as we install new sensors on the roadway. This data could give us more reliable, more accessible, and more timely. Now, what we do with the data, we want to have 3 things from the data. Use the data to get insights what happened. Use the data for decision-making, better decision-making, and use data to collaborate with all stakeholders. So with this one, I show you briefly on what we found. Well, to solve the congestion, we need to understand the traffic condition. And in the past, very difficult to know what happened. Well, we can see by own eyes, but we don't have data. And now we obtain data from Grab Taxi. And you can see that individual journey, we can plot it. And then we can plot it together to obtain the journey, the trajectory of each vehicle. And then we know the movement, we know the distribution, and we can cluster it. Okay. And okay, let me. And once we convert it into congestion hotspot, this is easy to see by officials that where the congestion occurred. So I think it's quite good for the traffic manager to obtain what happened on the road. See, we can identify hotspots or where the heavy congestion occurred on Rama 4 Road. Okay, next, not only we obtain the congestion, but because we collect data continuously over almost 1 year, so we know exactly what happened in the big data. So we can build a new indicator, what's so-called congestion index. This is good in a sense that we learn more than just the current speed, and we understand more congestion more thoroughly. And we built up dashboard so that the officials can take a look and can obtain everything quite easily. It's be useful for management purpose. Okay. And next, we presented this to the official, namely Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. They like it a lot. They use it to identify congestion areas, actually ranking 1 to 20, where the congestion occur the most. And we can dig deep down to each location, try to understand the root cause of the problems. For instance, we look at the one in the middle. We see it's not only the problem occur not only in that area, but on the surrounding area. And we combine this method with other methods like field operation and talking with stakeholders, so we can identify the congestion and root cause of the congestion quite thoroughly and efficiently. And because we collect the data in a longer period of time, once we implement something, we can see the before-after evaluation. Okay, let me summarize my talk because the time is limited. I show you the status of GNSS vehicle tracking in Thailand. And you see that we have a lot of probe data in Thailand, but we need to use it for the wider and useful applications. We had a small project on analysis of taxi probe data. We learned about the quality of the data. We learned how to analyze the data, and it demonstrated potential applications. We have big project on Rama 4 module project that we realize the benefit of data in traffic management, and we have the real implementation on Rama 4. We talk with a lot of officers, and they like it a lot. They like to see the data, they like to see the results from the data. And this one, we use probe data as the main source. So we can get a lot of traffic insights, enhanced our traffic management, and it's good for decision making. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Professor Sarawet. I'm surprised to see that how rich your data are. Okay, so then from the floor, I would like to have, we would like to have any questions or comments or whatever. Any questions or comments? Okay, yes. And would you kindly come up to the stage just to the microphone so that Dr. Sarawit could hear you?
Hello. Yeah. Thank you very much, Professor, for the great sharing. I'm just wondering if the current database that you're producing is accessible for both decision makers and users or passengers. What are your main targets of the database?
Okay, the result from the project, all officials can access our database and use. Unfortunately, one of the big data we got is from company. So we have like agreement that we don't provide raw data to anyone else. But let me add one thing. ITIC that I mentioned, they provide open data. And this is very popular. I heard from many people in many countries, they use this ITIC open data. Yes, so you can check out the ITIC open data.
IT open data.
ITIC, yeah.
Okay.
ITIC open data.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. And any other questions or comments? Just one short question. In Bangkok, actually, a lot of investment have been made to improve the public transportation, like railways. So do you anticipate any kind of, let's say, collaboration or kind of annual cooperation to reduce the road traffic demand itself? I mean, the kind of modal shift.
Oh, that's our dream, though. yeah, we built a lot of infrastructure, especially public transportation. So we attract people to use public transportation. Yes, we want to do so. But the real implementation, there's still a gap that we cannot bring people out of the cars. But again, it's getting better and better when we build a more extensive public transportation. I think that we need to see another minor problems that prevent us to have the benefits. For example, the feeder systems that we lack of. Yeah, secondary public transportation that we.
I see. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, Professor Sorowit Narpiti. Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you. Okay, then may I invite the second speaker, Professor Lantebin, and also the Professor Gwendin Tuan, Hanoi University of the Science and Technology. Good. Oh, good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Professor Shibasaki. Today I will come here to say with you about one of the using GNSS technology for testing the vehicle checking box in Vietnam. So I think this is one of the also using the GNSS technology here is applied in our products. So first I will show you what is the vehicle checking box, and that I think that also is a story of Vietnam. Also, for using the vehicle checking box for public vehicle, currently we have some limitation of testing and validating checking box before using for the equipping for the vehicle. Also, from the limitation we propose, and now that is accepted for using the GNSS simulator for validating the checking box in Vietnam. And I will give you very short about the Navisim architecture. It's not only the simulator; it's the combination of the GNSS simulator and the IoT solution for validating the checking box. And also I will show you some performance evaluation and some picture of the how they using the GNSS simulator in the validating and testing the vehicle checking box. The first, as you see on the slide, that is the checking box, and as a requirement of the government, all of the public transportation in Vietnam must be equipped with the checking device. So the checking device will send the data, including the position, velocity, and also the time, every second to the to the data center of the directorate abroad. Yes, for in case of the accident or any time the government they want to see what happened with the public transport public vehicles, they can see in the data center. And up to now there are around 1 million public vehicles that already is equipped with the checking box, and that's before the equipping the checking device to the public vehicle, the authority must be the test and also the validate the device. Currently, the solution for the for the test and also the validate the checking box is using the real vehicle. It means they have to test some the scenarios such as the device must be alert by the beeping when the device is when the speed is over 80 km per hour. And second, if the driver driving the continuously over 4 hours, the device must be giving an alert. So that is to test the device. They must be put the checking box on the car, and then they they drive over 80 km and also the continuously over 4 hours. So to see the the behavior of the checking box. So with the testing the testing scenario, there are some limitations. First, that is quite dangerous because if you drive continuously for more than 4 hours, and sometimes you have to drive over speed, that will be very dangerous and also tired. And another limitation that you cannot repeat the same test for on device, because you may know in some cases, for example, if in case of the bad weather, some the GNSS receiver cannot work well. Or if you drive in the, for example, in the center of the city with a lot of the high building, the behavior of the GNSS receiver may be not as you expected. So that will raise another problem. So that is the reason why we propose we can use the GNSS simulator for testing the device. Because as you may know, using the GNSS simulator, we can control the own of the the environmental conditions, such as you can show how many satellite you want, and also the power of every satellite. Also, you can repeat the same test over and over again, and also limit the unintended interference signal. Especially, it's amazing problem in Vietnam now. So, using the GNSS simulator for the evaluating the performance of GNSS receiver, must be, I think it's much faster and more accurate than using the practical testing as before. But using the commercial GNSS simulator, we have some problem. First is that it cannot flexible with many scenarios following the regulation in Vietnam. And also we cannot connect directly the GNSS receiver to automated testing. That is a problem. That is the reason why we using the combine the GNSS simulator with the IoT solution for automated testing GNSS receiver in the black box. So that is our product. So our product actually is not the combination of two things. So first is the GNSS simulator, and second, that is the IoT solution for automated testing, as I mentioned before. So this one, with the simulator, we can do we have some options. First, we can simulate the GNSS signal completely, or we can record and play back. Because in some cases, such as in some days we get reporting there are a lot of the jamming, or in some scenario we can record the data and play back to see the action. The action of the receiver is clear of the hazardous environments. Also, because using the GNSS simulator, so we can provide the API to user for if they want to manipulate they want to they want to control the simulator, and also they want to change the scenario as they want. So actually the simulator integrated in the Navisim is a software-defined simulator. We use a front end. Everything is generated in the software, including the generated the trajectory, the modulating the digital signal, and then the digital signal is transmitted through the front end. The front end that is comes from the front end such as USB. You can buy easy to buy on the market. Also, the data is stored to playback to hard disk for playing later. So that is I can show you very quickly about the architecture of our simulator. The simulator is contain two parts. The first, that is the input of the simulator. That is the trajectory and also the ephemeris. The ephemeris you can easily to download from the IGS or from the GNSS receiver. From that we will modulate the signal. If the user they want to generate a multipath, or they want to generate some interference such as radio frequency interference, they can check the option and then choose some parameter for the interference. From that, the signal is applied to front-end filter and the quantizing signal, and then they have the two solutions. First is store to disk or send directly to the front-end to transmit real time. Okay, this one I think I can skip because of the limit of time. So that is for the interface for the Navisim for the checking box. So you can see that is very simple. On the screen and also the GNSS output, there are the 4 outputs. We can connect to multiple satellite, multiple receiver for testing. If the user want to test 10 or more receiver at the same time, they can using the GNSS splitter to split the signal. I will show you through the image later. And here, for example, we're using our simulator to see how the performance of two brands of the checking box in Vietnam. You can see, yeah, it's very easy to evaluate the performance of the GNSS receiver integrating into the checking box. And also this one is for the centimeter checking box. And here is the image. You can see that is the National Center for Technical Progress. That is one of the organization. They have the authorized for testing the device, checking box device before provides the certain certificate for the company. And they use our simulator for the testing and verifying the device. You can see using our simulator, now they can stay in the office and test how many scenarios they want with the own of the checking box with the same scenario, environmental condition. Okay, that is the story I want to show you about the story in Vietnam and also the solution for testing and also validating the GNSS receiver inside the checking box in Vietnam. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that is really interesting kind of project and also device. I just wonder how expensive it is. Okay, any questions or comments from the floor? Yeah, anyway, such sort of the research is really necessary for implementing kind of, let's say, GNSS-based tracking of the commercial vehicles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
Thank you very much for the great sharing. I'm wondering how you store the data. I think you use SD card, right? Yeah, is it overwriting or you need to store the data to other devices? If you are taking a lot of simulations, maybe every day. Yeah. Do you use SD card for storing?
Sorry, you mean the data from the receiver or the data in the simulator? Yeah. Yes, this one?
Yeah.
Yes, as I show you, because it depends on the user. They have the two solution, two options. The first, if they want to play real time, the data from the quantizing signal will directly stream to the front end and then transmit to the outside. Yes.
Okay.
Or if they want to store the data and then for playback later, yes, they can to store to the hard disk.
Hard disk. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not overwriting.
Yeah, actually, because the hard disk inside the simulator is very, it's very huge, about 1 to 2 terabytes. Because the data for the digital light signal is very heavy. It's about for store 1 second, it takes us 80 megabytes.
80 megabytes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it 1 second, just only 1 second. So it
Every second.
yeah.
Okay.
So we have to store. We need a very huge capacity of the hard disk.
Okay. Same like Prof. Shibasaki. How much is it?
Actually, as I told you, because this one is one kind of the spoofer. That one actually
Kind of
is
spoofer,
considered
yes.
is a simplistic spoofer. This is the reason we have in Vietnam we do not have any regulation for selling the product to the customer. The normal customer. So the product now is just provide for the government and authority for testing and the checking device.
Not for sale. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
so much.
Okay. Yeah. Would you kindly come up to the stage for microphone?
Thank you for presentation. So for typical vehicle navigation unit, also other sensors such as odometry or gyro sensor is also used. So for your GNS simulator,
Yeah.
do you have plan to add such kind of additional sensor?
Actually, for in our simulator, we do not integrate any IMU sensor or something like this. So this one is, as I show you, just for the checking the black box. Inside the black box is a very low price in Vietnam, and that is the reason in the black box the GNS receiver inside the black box is also the very low price. There are no the fusion sensor inside the black box.
Okay.
So up to now,
you're just focusing on such
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
application.
yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. That is really interesting, and yeah. Okay, so then, may I invite the next speaker, Professor Fitri Yaakob, University of the Technology Malaysia. Probably you are supposed to be the third speaker. Are you ready for that? Yes. Yes. Anyway, you have 10 minutes. Okay. Ooh.
So is it okay if I proceed after this?
Hmm?
Sorry? Can I proceed after the next one? I need to set up.
I see. Okay. May I change the order of presentation? Okay. So then, while he's anyway getting prepared, I would like to invite the Dr. Ling Yola, University of Indonesia.
Can you please project?
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much, Prof. Shibasaki. Hello, everyone. I'm Lin Yola and my colleague Garin Nandito. We are from Universitas Indonesia, Jakarta, and we are here to share one of our works titled Integrated Technology of GNSS and Environmental Sensor for Mobile Air Monitoring Applications for Transjakarta Bus Rapid Transit. I think we've shared this work in some forums, but today we are going to share the updates of the works. Jakarta faced the pollutions for years, but it became worse since 2019, and the most problematic one was last year, 2023. And it cost 11,000 deaths in Jakarta, including premature deaths, and cost a lot of costs for that. And you see, this is the level of the air pollutions in Jakarta, 177 ACI index, and this is 21 times above the standard of WHO. And as you can see, the red one are the most highest one in the city. For comparison, I was checking just now the quality index, air quality index in Bangkok. It ranged 127. Not so far, but yeah, this is categorized as unhealthy for sensitive groups, while for Jakarta is unhealthy for everybody. So Bangkok, though this is not so good news, but you are better than us in Jakarta. And you see, there are some red spots in Bangkok, but you also have a lot of yellow and orange spots. And this is the efforts that we do in Jakarta to mitigate these pollutions. We do the vehicle emissions tests for all of the vehicles and the age of the vehicles itself. We also spray the roads when the pollution really high, and during those critical time, the government also shut down some of the office in Jakarta just to reduce the mobility in the center. And this is another problems. Traffic congestions. Why I'm raising this? Because the air pollution is actually caused mainly by the traffic congestions in the city. You can see we have cars and we have more bikes in the city, including the taxi, the bike taxi. And you can see this is actually the lane, the fixed lane for the BRT for bus, but is also passed by the cars and the private vehicles. And the congestions actually occurs around the city center and also the buffer zones, because most of the people stay in the buffer zones. And due to those problems, we need to really work on the policy. But to get the proper policy, we need the right research for that. And I've been talking about this in our national televisions, that there are factors that cause the air pollutions. And I talk with the data that we've been collecting for the past 3 years, since 2020 to 2021 at that time. But since 2021 to now, we are developing the device that one of them is actually using the GNSS. I'm also talking with the government to help to explain to the public why this happened, how is the real data, and what the data speaks for the real contributor of the pollution itself. And because everyone just pointing out the governor, Mr. Governor, in the flyer, that this is your fault. But actually it's also contributed by the surrounding area, which might be from the different states from Jakarta. And you see, I was talking just now about the fixed lane of the BRT, the bus rapid transit. And what we did was collecting the data by using private vehicles. But in this particular sessions, I'm going to talk about how we also collected the data by using the BRT. And this recent works is just published in our paper, collaborating with the Tumsat University and CSIS University of Tokyo with Dr. Dinesh as well. The integration of both GNSS technology and the dynamic air quality monitoring applications. You can check out with this title. And those are, some of my students doing the research in the bus. And also the private vehicle, Mr. Garin was doing it for 3 years, but the students did it by group. And we fixed the sensor outside of the bus and the GNSS inside the bus. But after that, we developed the integration of both technology itself. So he's going to talk about that more, because I think he was working very much on this in details. Please, Mr. Karin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lin. I will continue. So this is the system that we designed, this one, the integrated system. So we move from the non-integrated system to the integrated one. So as you can see from the non-integrated, we use the GNSS receiver and the HT CO2 meter. So as you can see, in this non-integrated, we collect the data separately. And when we design this integrated, the GNSS receiver and the MH CO2 sensor collect the data together. And with this integration system, we use Raspberry Pi to integrate both of the devices. So these are the scope of our study. As you can see, the routes, main routes of Jakarta, and the schedule, the day and time. And these are some results. You can see the distribution of vehicle speed. So we could see the distribution of vehicle speed by color, and the cause of the traffic congestion because of the lot of physical features like multiple roundabout and some of U-turn and some busy area of the main routes. This is also the example of the congested area. And this is the distribution of the vehicle speed and CO2 by colors. As you can see, the value of both variables. And this is also the example of the result from vehicle speed and the CO2 distribution. And for the architecture system, this is the left one is the non-integrated for the single point positioning or SPP. And if we want to use RTK, it's also possible. We could use the base station. So the weak point of this non-integrated system is in this part, the manual integration with Excel. It will create a lot of error for the time synchronization and the loss of data. So if you see the architecture system of the integrated for both SPP and the RTK, the integration process will be on the Node-RED software of the Raspberry Pi. So besides the spatial data from the GNSS data, we could get the environmental variable, that is the CO2 variable. So these are the interface of the Node-RED program that we built with JavaScript programming language. And unfortunately, we found some faulty with the loss of data that we're still working on. And we did the statistical analysis also with SPSS. So the correlation showed that the correlation is strong for the speed variable, but somehow on the CO2 is still weak. As you can see also with the graphical visualization, this is for the speed variable as well as the CO2 variables. And notes from the study that we pointed that the time synchronization and error removal technique is reliable with CO2 sensor as well as another sensor like temperature and etc.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can add on that this device is actually mainly designed to get the real-time data of air monitoring in Jakarta, because currently we just have around 6 stations to monitor the air monitoring, but it's more on the macro one. We can't spot which locations contributing the air pollution itself. So, but this would be one of the best way or fast way to get the database for the decision maker to take action, because the air pollution keep changing every day, and sometimes it get worse in the morning. So this is what we currently plan to fix it in the BRT in our Transjakarta bus system. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Thank you very much. Okay, since we are running out of time, so probably we will have just one question, the burning question.
Or no question.
No, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very
But
much.
I mean, later, probably, I would like to talk with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, then I would like to invite the final speaker. Professor Fitri Yakubo is ready for presentation. And actually, there is no coffee break after this, and next session should start at 11, probably, no, yes, 10 a.m. So probably, I hope that you could talk concise. Probably you may put your laptop just over there, yeah, because there should be a power supply. And anyway, you can talk there. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Uzamas. Sawadee. Thank you, Shibazaki Sensei. I apologize for the late presentation for today. I'm Fitri from Malaysia. I'm not a professor actually, Sensei. Okay, I would like to present about the FlashNet more towards for the forecasting and localized sensing for hazard. Focus mainly for the evacuation and transportation network. I do believe we call FlashNet here because of this is our, I think, very big issue and current ongoing problem so far. We still don't have any solution at the moment, especially for the urban area. That's why this topic focus on the urban network transportation. If you take a look, we can see Delhi, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Manila, Fukuoka, Seoul, Jakarta, Beijing, and so on. So this is the real scenario happen. And in Kuala Lumpur, I guess we have the same scenario happen more than 5 times per year. So this is very big issue, and there is no solution at the moment. If you take a look on the top 5 countries also, you can see this scenario is not only focused for Southeast Asia, but all over the world. And for the specific Southeast Asia region, we can see people that most at the risk 1.24 billion. This is based on data 2022. Image sources Kuala Lumpur 2022. This is Kuala Lumpur, not in the rural area, urban area. There are many cars stranded. We have issues on the stranded vehicles, also related to the heavy traffic jam. And we have a problem in terms of time loss and also life loss. Therefore, we begin to develop prototype by implementation of this technology solution. We have a satellite that relates with this information, communication, meteorology, position, and geophysics. We also do have IoT remote sensings. And also for the navigation, real-time traffic navigation solution, especially for the flash flood scenario. We embed our system with AI for the prediction and forecasting in order to make sure that we can have a good evacuation routes in terms of safest and also in terms of fastest. By utilize this GNSS and also other technology. This is our architecture in general. So we utilize our GPS, QGSS satellites. We also have our ground devices. So this is what basically a slightly difference in a river scenario. So we focus on the urban area. So we deploy our phase flood ground detection device. This is to double confirm the results that from the satellites information. More accurate because they are taken specific scenario and position. We have our AI and IoT platform that's to inform those information in real times for the local authorities, especially for local agencies. And also we use, we generate the route generation not only for the road user, but also for the rescue team. So we have implemented this one actually in Kuala Lumpur, but in the small scale scenario. I do have a video here, but I'm not sure is it working or not. We are supposed to have a small video about the flash flood detection system, number 1. Then we have our information that received from GPS and also GNSS. We have our centralized monitor IoT platform that use the AI edge technology to predict and display real-time information. So this is the local authority. For example, we have Kuala Lumpur City Hall, mainly in charge for Kuala Lumpur City. and this is one of the agency that in charge for any disaster in Malaysia, which is what we call NATMA. So we have worked together with them. Even we are able to get the route generations based on results. Analysis come from the IoT platform and AI technique. So this is the actual pilot study we have implemented just to locate the safest routes and the safest place to evacuate. This is our basically second pilot study. The first one not in the urban area, but more on the rural area. But the second one we jump into the urban area. This is our nearby with our campus, not far, less than 2 kilometers. So we implemented along the way. So every one device cover up to 5 km, but actually it's depend. I cannot say exact number 5 kilometers, but it's range between 3 to 6, 7. So I can see this is the average distance that one device can cover for that particular area. So we don't implement it randomly. We do mapping and have a result priorly. Then based on that result, we deploy our system just to check and confirms the result based on the satellite information with the ground devices. Another scenario here, you can see this is quite straightforward. We have satellite, ground device, and stranded vehicles. And we are using, again, imaginary satellites. This time we try to cooperate with local car automotive in our country. We do have 2 automotive industry, Proton and Produa. So we try to link with the navigation systems, the existing ones in the car, in the vehicles. So we send this scenario. We have our 60-second flight predictions. Again, this is based on ground devices. So if you don't have a ground device at that particular location, then we don't receive any information. So it's within the range of a flight scenario. We actually have begin back in 2021, but yeah, you know, this is issues of nations. So we have many discussion with the government agency. Even we also have site visits in few university in Japan, our partner. We also involved in community projects. This is a landslide scenario, another big issue in our country after flood. Recently this year, I think we have more than 3 landslide debris flow scenario, then kill 5, 6 people on the spot. So that's why we try to come up with the early warning message based on satellite and ground devices. But the problems for the rural area of we have a very specific connection because covered up by a lot of trees, but we are able to do the IoT part for this information. We are also able to send those information to the local authority. So we are targeting basically to the next phase for the software automotive industry, just to see that we are able to embed with the existing navigation system. I know a bit hard, but if nobody want to try, then we try to see how many percent damage that we can reduce time by time. Actually, this solution, I believe, in my opinion, can be implemented in agriculture, warehouse, insurance, logistics, and so on. Even agriculture, now we also have a small project in agriculture using almost the similar concept. But yeah, for this presentation, I don't have those information on this slide. This is our members. We have a few. So we have remote sensing and financial and advisor and so on. Our idea basically is we want to make sure that to have safer futures, especially I can say flood issues in Southeast Asia. I think that's all. I end my presentation. Thank you so much. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, that is a very common issues for the major Asian, cities. Okay, just one question. Any questions? Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much for the great presentations. For the flash flood system, the early warning system, I assume you combine the water level rise detections with the evacuation alert.
Yes.
Is it already implemented, or is still testing the prototype?
Now in the second phase, on this, at the same place, the Jalan Toraza.
Toraza.
Yeah, but
okay.
not a lot, all long around. So I think less than 2 kilometers so far.
How do you place the water level sensor, because it's flash flood, right? We are not really sure which area would be implemented, will be applied.
In this case, basically, first you need to have a good connection with local authority, because to deploy your system, you must have permission from them. So in our case, City Hall, Kuala Lumpur, agreed to be part of the project. Since they have a lot of pole along the roads, they also implemented CCTV. So we also basically embed on that particular system. The idea is basically the water levels. How I know that that location have this issue? Basically, this one we do mapping from remote sensing. We already know which location that they have always occur flood. But now the problem is, when the car goes through, they don't have any no more other routes. They will stranded.
Alternative, yeah.
Yeah, this is the idea.
Where do you place the sensor? Is it
at the pole, at the
pole?
side?
Is
Yeah.
Permanent?
So far, just tested for the second phase, but based on local authority, they say not safe to be there.
Yeah,
because
I think so. Yeah.
You know, Malaysia people, they are still not aware of this thing.
Yeah, we are also working on this, but we are not sure where to locate that, because flash flood is totally different from the normal flood. Maybe we can put it on the river survey, but this one no. So I think that's the big challenge. Yeah.
True.
Thank you very much, Prof. Shibashaki.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you,
And
Sensei.
yeah, anyway, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you,
talk. Okay. Unfortunately, probably we don't have kind of time for kind of, let's say, discussions for of our presentations. But anyway, we really enjoyed the very informative and interesting presentations so far. Okay, I would like to conclude the meeting, kind of session today. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Sorry.
Hello everyone. So because time is strict 15 minutes, so I will just briefly introduce this session. In this session, we will have 4 presentations relating to the topic of signal interference. We will take a listen from the speakers about jamming and spoofing detections, footprint computations, radio interference level estimations, and about the characteristic of the ionospheric layer that may affect the quality of the GNSS signals. So that is for the content of these sessions. So to be start, I'd like to invite Dr. Nguyễn Đình Thuận for the first presentations about jamming and spoofing detections and footprint calculations. Please keep in mind that we have about 13 minutes for each presentation, 1 or 2 minutes for 1 or 2 questions. And if you hear the sound from my computers, it means that the time is almost up. Okay?
Thank you so much, Professor Latifeng. Hello, everyone. I will continue my presentation about the ZNS threats and recent study on interference mitigation in Navis Center in Vietnam. I think you are here. We will wonder why today we will present a lot of things about the ZNS interference, because as you may know, now in Vietnam, due to the requirement for the public transport, the vehicle must equip the ZNS receiver for tracking device. So that also raising the problem of the driver, the public vehicle driver. They're using the jammer for because they don't want the authority and government check their device. And also another problem in Vietnam now, so there are some people they're using the ZNS spoofer for for changing the location of some people and in a specific area. That is the reason why in the conference we raise a lot of we mentioned a lot about the ZNS jamming and interference. So of course nowadays the ZNS is already applied in the many sectors, such as you see we use the CPS time for synchronize the power grid, also the bank, the transaction. And also we're using the CPS time and position for for transportation and for the communication. So for the presentation, I will show you very short about the ZNS basics, and I will show you the point why the ZNS is a very vulnerable of the jamming and spoofing. And from there, I will give you some summary of the mitigation techniques applied on the ZNS threats. From there, I will show you the recent study of the jamming and spoofing mitigation, which are currently on research in Navis Center. As you may know, for the navigation actually we on the ZNS receiver we try to solve the solution based on the position of the 4 satellite, and also we solve the solution. We solve the equation to see the position of the user, and we already we can measure the perseverance based on the code phase or carrier phase, depend on the technique you use. And also we can calculate the satellite position based on the FM risk data transmits from the satellite and also the time. From there you can set up the equation, and then we solve the equation using the Taylor expansion to see to get the solution. So we from the satellite, you may know the CBS satellite we transmit on the mostly on the 3 bands, the L5, L2, and L1, which is the commonly used. And the propagation, the signal transmitted to the receiver, if we get directly the signal, we can get the highest quality. But due to the ionospherics, the signal is rejected, and also the signal maybe is due to the high buildings. We get the multipass that will raise the errors of the ZNS signal, and the ZNS signal is cannot pass through the high building, the objects. So is the center of the city with a lot of the high buildings. The quality of the ZNS receiver is very low. First, the reception to calculate the time delay, we based on the the cost from the satellite and the cost at the receiver to calculate the time of propagation. To summarize the errors due to the transmission, including the satellite clouds, orbit clouds, and ionospheric delays, tropospheric delays, receiver noise, and multipass. The value may be changed depending on the condition. So to solve to solve the, the resolving the errors, we have many techniques such as using the carrier phase. And you see, this is the image I want to show you. You see, although in this case we use the GNSS, the rover can, can get the correction. But the correction in this case using the radio link. And the radio link and also the signal from satellite is not the, the authentic message. This is very easy to, the spoof or manipulate the signal. I will show you later. Also, using the S-bus, the satellite from the S-bus is not the, the authentic, it's not the authenticate message. This is quite very easy to manipulate. Also, the signal from if we're using RTK. So, next I will show you how the GNSS receiver can, measure can estimate the code delays. As you see, this one the red one is the code phase is from the satellite, and the blue one that is from receiver. And from the receiver, we will try to replicate, and we change the delay, and then we get the correction. If we find the blue one and the red one with the same delay, we get the high spec here. That is the main techniques of the GNSS receiver. To summary, the signal processing chain of the GNSS receiver contains you can see the front end. The front end actually is just digitalize the signal from the satellite, and then with the acquisition and checking is using the FPGA or using the software receiver. It depends on the receiver. And now at the after the acquisition and checking, we can get the data bit recover. The data bit from the satellite is constructed here. Also here we get the the delays. And then from the data bits here, we decode we can get the navigation message, and also combine with the delays from every satellite. Every satellite we can calculate the PVT computation. As you see, in the signal processing chain, they know the state for verify whether the signal is authentic or not. Is authentic signal or not. That is the main problem. Yes. Okay. This is okay. I will not. So from on the state, I already showed you that will raise a lot of the threats to the GNSS signal. First, it is the signal interference and jamming, because the GNSS signal, the receiver's power of the GNSS signal is 1,000 below of the ambient noise. It means that it's very weak. If you view the GNSS spectrum in the oscilloscope, you can see nothing, only the ambient noise. So it's very easy to be interfered. And also the signal spoofing, as I already showed you, because we do not have any state for verify the signal is authentic or not. And also that is cybersecurity threat, because you see, as you see here, yes, all of the techniques we use here, we use the radio links. Radio links. It means that the radio links, maybe the radio or the Ethernet, that will cause the threat that is already in the the cybersecurity threat. But now I will show you very short about the signal interference and jamming and the spoofing. And here is the data got from the GWS jam. You can easy to see on the website. GWS jam, of course, the data from the GWS jam is not. I think it's not be already confirmed or not. But the data is provide us the global view of how the GNSS jamming in the global. And you can see in the area where we have conflict, is there a lot of the interference. You see, in the north of the Asia, and also in the East Asia, you can see. Yes, East Asia. And also there you can see visit the website to see the gem. The problem is that the GNSS jammer is very cheap now. It's very cheap now. You can easily to buy on the eBay. Of course, this one is prohibited to sell because that in jam not only the GNSS signal but also the other the telecommunications system. But it's still sell on the eBay and the Amazon buys the. Of course, sometimes they do not give the exactly names of the GNSS jammers. They can give the different names. But it's very easy to buy on the markets. And you can see if we turn on the device, that will sweep all of the band of the GNSS signal. For example, in this case, the band of the GNSS L1. You can see the all of the band 24 megahertz is already the jam. So we cannot get the signal anymore. And you can see if we open the jamming with, you can see with the 10 megawatt, that can 10 megahertz that can block the signal, the GNSS signal up to 10 kilometers of acquisition. You can see 10 megawatt is very small power, but the affected area is very huge. That is a very big problem. And another problem that also is very, that raise a very huge impact to the GNSS receiver. That is spoofing. Spoofing is not it's unlike the jamming. The spoofing when the device still gets the spoofing and also the authentic signal, but the spoofing signal is much higher than the authentic. So the GNSS receiver will check spoofing signal instead of the authentic. That is the problem. So the victim will follow the signal from the spoofer. Okay, thank you. Yes, and for the mitigation techniques, we have many techniques, but I can summary in the slide. First, that easiest to use, that we can use the antenna array processing, but this one is quite cumbersome for setup. And also we can see some techniques in the front end or signal condition. For example, if we can detect any abnormal in the received signal. For example, if we look up the spectrum, or you can look up the acquisition result to see any abnormal in that state. Okay, and also using the correlator and the PVT using RAM on. And now I think this afternoon the JAXA will show another solution. This one I think that can be used for mass receiver with the cheap, the low cost. That is using authenticated GNSS signal. So it means that the KZN will transmit, besides the navigation message, that will transmit the navigation authentication message. We can use the navigation authentication message to verify whether the signal we receive that is already that is correct one or not. But the problem is also have the problem because for example the QSNS will transmit the GPS the GNSS navigation authentication message in L6 band. So maybe that only apply for the new GNSS receiver, not for the current one. So yes, if we want to give the navigation interference mitigation, you have to use the traditional one if you want to use for the current device. So okay, last one, that is some recent study in Navi Center. In Navi Center, we already provide the solution for checking the jamming, not checking. The detection. We are basing the abnormal of the spectrum and also the acquisition result. You can see we have the continuous wave interference just so in the spectrum. This one is a supportable one. that means we implement the solution in the mobile phone combined with the front end. This one, the front end will convert from the IF signal to the digitalized signal, and then we will do the remaining the state in the mobile phone. And also another solution, we're using the dual front ends. The dual receiver for spoofing detection. And the solution is very simple. We based on if the signal from the authentic signal that will be from the different satellite is in geometry will be with the different angle. But we transmit the signal from the same source, so the arrival angle will be the same. So that is the main the main idea of our solution. That we already published the solution in the latest publication this month. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Thuan, for your presentations. Exactly in 15 minutes. So I think we still have time for one questions, if you have. Yes.
Thank you very much for great presentations. Can the jammers or spoofers jam or spoof you?
You make sword and shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for that?
Prepared for you?
That to protect your system
from
the jammers and spoofers itself? The Navism itself?
Yeah. Yes, of course, as I told you, the Navisim, our product, that can be considered as a symbiotic the spoofer. So, of course, in some our research, we're using our simulator for conducting the experiments and to see of course it can spoof that can spoof the normal device, but we already create the simulator, so we know how the simulator works.
So your simulator is safe from that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to invite the next speaker, Dr. Lê Huy Minh, with his presentation about the characteristic of inospheric layers that may affect the quality of the GNSS signal. We also have 15 minutes for the presentation and questions, so keep in mind that. Can you show the slides on the display? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everybody. I would like to present to you
summation about the application in GBET in atmospheric study using the this is the result of basic research in institute. I came from Institute of Physics in Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology.
Can you use microphone?
Presentation
Excuse me, can you use a microphone? Microphone. Yeah. You can take it out. Take it out. Okay. Or you can, no? Yeah, you can see it, I think, if you cannot take it out, so that we can hear.
This is my presentation. The first one, I would like somewhat about the continuous registration network in Vietnam and its recent region. And then I would like to present to you the method for calculation of the DSC, atmospheric total content using GBET data. And then I would like to present to you about the vibration of the crest of the equatorial ionization anomaly and the atmospheric irregularity over Southeast Asia. And last as some main remarks. Now I slide show you the continuous GPS station in Vietnam and its station in Vietnam from 2005 in cooperation with the National Center for Scientific Research, a French Winston Free Station in Ho Chi Minh City here, and Huế here, and Vietnam in Hanoi here. And in 2009, in cooperation with the National Taiwan University, we installed 6 GPS stations in northwest of Vietnam for monitoring the earthquake in this region. And in 2011, we installed V station in the seismological network of Vietnam. And 2014, in cooperation with JAXA, we installed the Dallas station here, Dallas. And in 2015, we installed a station in Bạc Liêu, in this equatorial observatory. And since 2018, in cooperation with Institute of Earth Science, Silica, Taiwan, we installed 10 stations in from Langshan to Quan Hoa here across the Red River Fall in the north of Vietnam. And in our study, we use also some station, IGS station, as a Chiang Mai station, CUSP station, and Chung Phong station from Thailand. And MSG here in Malaysia, Batut in Singapore, Bako and Zokchu in Indonesia, and Smith in Australia. The chain zero station nearly along the longitude 105. In this slide, show you also the magnetic equator. Yes. Now we present a method to calculate a slant DSC and use in this equation the formula to calculate the SDSC from flow range measurement. Yes. Yes, yes, flow range measured by GBET in this question. And from carrier phase measurement, yes, similar also. L1 and L2 years carrier phase observation. Yes, also constant. And we use some computation technique applied to calculate this constant and to calculate the absolute SDSC. And then SDSC in converted to vertical DSC according to the single label of Globusha. And then we can calculate also the rate of change of DSC, rate and or rate of DSC ditch, ROT. This is the ditch for studying the atmospheric irregularity, this formula. In fact, ROT is a standard deviation of the rate over a 5-minute period. Here's let's show you the DSC on 15 March 2015 computed by using pressure measurement in this figure And in here, using combination of the carrier phase and root protein measurement and putting the same based on the 15 match. It's better just calculate by this method. It's better use it for calculate TC in the Southeast Asia region. This slide shows you the satellite footprint on the subonosphere observed by GPS structure in the Southeast Asian region on April 12, 2006. Yes, so you can use the fabric to create the TSC map over the Southeast Asia region. This slide shows you the Thai and latitude TSC map in 29 April 2012 obtained from Sweat in Vietnam and Western region. You see clearly the structure of the so-called equatorial ionization anomaly in Southeast Asia. It consists of one crest in the north and another one crest in the south, nearly symmetric with respect to magnetic equator. This crest can characterized by three parameters: TSC magnitude, latitude, or current type. Yes. You know this structure produced by so-called equatorial plasma fountain. On the daytime of the magnetic equator, east and electric and north-south magnetic field produce the lift of plasma by vertical equatory. One supported to high altitude plasma diffuse. Downward along magnetic field into two hemispheres under the influence of the gravity and pressure gradients. This photo effect is main driver of the equatorial ionization anomaly. Now, in slide show you the day-to variation of the northern and southern crest parameter. And here's TSC magnitude, and here's crest latitude, and here's occurrence time from 2008 to 2023. It's November this year. Now we study the slope of these variations in three parameters. The first one, slide show you the daily mean of at 10.7 solar fluid index here, and daily TSC at the other crest here, and red lines is for southern and blue lines for northern crest. You see there's a very good correlation between F10.7 and TSC amplitude. The correlation coefficient are 1.85 for the northern crest and 0.83 for southern crest. This means that the solar fluid is the main driver for TSC various magnitude. But now we study this correlation in detail by analysis, spectrum analysis. Here I show you the spectrum of daily mean solar average F10.7. You see here some period in this parallelogram. 11 years, yes. The largest spectrum amplitude, and T.8 years, yes, is average of 11 years. And to 39.5 months is a preview oscillation, and here 27 days. In this from 115 days to 500 days, the spectra are very complicated. You see also the peak at 3 months and 1 year, and 2 months and 3 months. It's very complicated. But now here, yes, spectra of TSC amplitude. You see also the period 11 years, T-wise 7 years, and Q year. 1 year and 3 months here. And here, 15 days and 27 days. So the main oscillation is 11 years. But we say some periods in these variations. Yes, this slide shows you spectra of altitude of air crash. We see also the period nearly 11 years here, 5.5 years here, and 3.7 years here. The harmonic this period, and video years, and one year the very big spectral amplitude. Last year, and 340 days per year, and 430 days years, and one period very clearly is 15 days. Is for occurrence times. We see the similar. We see also the period of about 11 years, 4.5 years, 3.2 years in video, and 1 year. Yes, very big. So that is spectral amplitude, and 300 years, 400 years, days, 120 days, yeah, and 50 days, yes. It will show you the oscillation period with the daily crash from long Chicago parallelogram. Yes, you see 15 days we offset, no offset in the F7, but we can offset in this period in the parameter of crash. In amplitude crash, latitude, yes. 27 days we can offset in the F1.7 and amplitude of crash. And 1 year, 3 months, we can offset in amplitude rate and everything parameter of a year. And 1 year also. And 11 years, we can offset in F1.7 amplitude rate and latitude rate and current high of the southern crest. Now we try to separate oscillation in different periods. We use a technique. The first one, we calculate the running average of the observation that we slide in video, which corresponding to the oscillation period to be decomposed. And then we calculate the residual equal observed data, the difference between observed data and sleep data, and apply to the result of bandpass filter centered on the selected period, for example, 50 days, 27 days, 6 months, or 1 year. The bandwidth is a chosen approach to cover the spectral peak at the desired period. Here I show you the 50-day oscillation of the aircraft parameters from 2008 to 2021. That's into PSC amplitude up to grade oscillate nearly in the same phase. In phase, it corresponds is up 0.78. It's very good correlation. And latitude grade occurred nearly anti-phase. Here's a correlation coefficient minus 0.82, and occurs nearly in phase with correlation coefficient is 0.74. So the source of 15-day oscillation of this planetary wave from troposphère. This slide shows you the 27-day oscillation of the solar fleet index and 27, and PSC amplitude of area crash. Here's the 27-day oscillation of at 10.7 here for PSC amplitude. You see the very good correlation between 27-day oscillation of 10.7 and PSC amplitude of air crash. The correlation coefficient are 0.7 for the north and for the southern also. Here the semi-annual oscillation is good parameters of two crash. then to correct oscillation nearly in phase with correction 0.99. Very good correlations. But for latitude, nearly anti-phase with the correlation coefficient minus 0.77. And for tire current oscillation nearly in phase also with correlation coefficient in 0.75. Now, we see the correlation, the relationship between the semi-annular up solar average F7 set and of the TC amplitude. You see the semi-annular up solar bridge here. Here is the semi-annular up TC amplitude. You see the correlation between this F10.7 and TC amplitude and 0.33. It means that the semi-annular of the TC amplitude of a crest depend not only on solar activity, but is also affected by many other factors. Yes. Here in slide show you the multi-angular index variation 2 and semi-annular oscillation of latitude area crest. And you see the main version 2. It's in the during El Nino period. Red bars, yes, and here's by La Nina period. You see here during El Nino this period, for example, the semi-annular oscillation of the current decreased. Yes, amplitude semi-oscillation of DC amplitude decrease. Right. Semi-annular oscillation of the latitude of eastern area crest could be influenced by lower atmosphere. This means that in the troposphere. This slide shows you also the annual oscillation of area crest parameters that for two amplitude get nearly in the same phase, and for the latitude in nearly in phase, for high daily anti-phase. Yes. And what I show is yes. This, and now we would like to show you this some reason about separate the ionospheric previous signal. Yes, this panel shows you the monthly mean at 10.7. Yes, monthly mean DSC at 2 crates. And DSC value fitted by a second of polynomial written at 10.7, and 6-month and 12-month period as a single suite. And here's the delta TC result after structuring the amplitude fitted with at 10.7 from northern and southern crates. Yes. Please. And would like to analyze also the spectra by using Rome's spectrogram. The delta TC variation at the crest is easy. Also the Quibio signal in the residual. When we apply also a fin bus filter to separate the Quibio signal. Yeah, and so I'll show you the EC also the main feature, and this is IQ Eurospeak video. You see in here from 2010 2014 the EQO and SQO nearly in phase, but in this period nearly anti-phase. In this period nearly in phase. So during 2015 to 2000, the Rome phase and the SQO was shortened, you see, and each period had 1.5 years, and EQO is shortening too. So we can represent SVO is the main factor attracting to IPVO. And now some recent study to ionosphere area realities. And for simulator, we can give also the ROTI for each station for every years, for days. In this slide, show you the ROTI California data of military survey station on the 11th March 2015. So the 8-hour scintillation is a ROTI minus 0.5. And on the 12th March 2015, the limit scintillation. And this is ROTI reaching the 0.5 remains the present of ionospheric irregularity on scale of 5 kilometers or more. Here's a slide show you the day-to-day operation of the ionosphere area occurring at the and Futu station. Okay. A slide shows the correlation between monthly solar fleet effect and ROTI rate trend 0.5. The good correlation for the station nearly magnetic equator, yes, for Hue and Ho Chi Minh cities. And the correlation works and the correlation between monthly mutation and SO you see before. It's a map in latitude. This was high upper ROTI rate for 2012. You see almost irregular occur after sunset until midnight. Yes, so irregular is maximum about 13 and 22 hour local time. A slide shows you the latitude of the secret and latitude of position where the ionospheric irregular occurrence is maximum during 2010 and 2011 period. You see the concentration of the irregular activity is about 15 degree north and 0 yes. Near the 5 degree near the magnitude, the magnetic equator, then latitude of correct on the daytime. Yes. So some main ones. So the first one, the CPS ratio shown near along the 105 degree longitude, includes the station in Vietnam and some one from other countries. It's very good for studies. DSC version is the equatorial ionization, another is the Southeast Asia currently. And a very high level correlation between amplitude of threat and the daily mean solar fleet. And the longest period of 1997 shows the main period of 11 years and other period that. And different period in the range on 150 then 500 days. But the diagram of the area, the correct parameter present a different period, 15 days, 27 days, 4 months, semi-annual, and even 2 years, and even anomalies. And FB.7 and red attribute have a larger spectrum at 11 years oscillation. Meanwhile, the southern correct attribute and also type have the largest spectrum is the annual oscillation, and northern correct attribute has the largest spectrum in 15-day oscillations. And high evolution of equatorial ionization must be related to solar activity and many physical processes in atmosphere and also magnetosphere. And some other remarks for ionospheric reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rotoming, for the presentations. I think the ionospheric study is very necessary in the NLS. So the presentation a bit over time, so I think question for him can be made during the break time. Okay, thank you, Roto.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for the next speaker, I would like to invite Professor Ponchai Subiti from King Mongkut Institute of Technologies. Professor Ponchai will present online. Ponchai?
Okay, let me share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Okay, so I'd like to make a presentation on RFI detection and
Recording in progress.
And analysis around Bangkok, Thailand. So, as a number of speakers have already mentioned to all of you that jamming and spoofing have become very problematic issues in today's world related to GNSS technology. So I'm not going to go through some of the early slides just to save time, as you have heard a few things already. Recently, there have been quite a few of GNSS interference issues, particularly near airports around the world. There were some events in Newark Airport registered in 2013 related to GNSS jamming. There were some drone disruption in Hong Kong in 2018. And recently, there was also GPS interference in airport in Texas and caused disruption as well. So the previous speaker has also mentioned about the GPS jam, which was one of the jamming events recording based on the ADS-B technology that you can go in and take a look. You can search GPS jam and select the dates. I looked at the events 2 days ago, and I saw that around this area is quite green, meaning that not much interference based on ADS-B technology. But there were some few interference area. This is the west of Thailand, probably near in Myanmar region, where they have some conflicts going on. Recently, we participated with a number of organizations for the GBUS technology, ground-based augmentation system. And basically, this system is used to demonstrate how the aircraft can have the automatic landing on the runway based on GNSS technology as an alternative to the traditional ILS technology. However, the GBUS technology, which relies on the GNSS signals, it has to be validated. And in this project, which lasts from 2020 all the way to 2024, which just concluded last week with a slight delay due to the COVID reason. So because the landing system is based on GNSS technology, so there were some issues related to the gradient, ionospheric gradient delays analysis, which has to be carefully studied. And in the GBUS system, basically, the aircraft will receive the correction information from the ground station near the runway or on the runway. So with the ionospheric gradient or the spatial gradient and equal values at different locations, so airplane may receive the incorrect delay information from the airport. So that's why we had to do this study, and there was a flight test, demo test in November and December 2022. The organization include on the right-hand side, they include CAMATL, Aeronautical, the Aerotai, CAAT, and a few Japanese organizations that they're involved. On the right-hand side, on the top one, you see this the VHF antenna and also the hut where GNSS receivers are installed there. So during the experiment and also the period of study, very often the RFI observations are made. If you take a look at the picture on the left-hand side, KMATL is at the north part of the runway, and in the middle is the Suvarnabhumi Airport with the left runway and the right runway. On the northern side, on the left side, you see this hut. This is where the reference stations are installed. And from here, it's actually quite close to the road nearby. If you take a look on the image, you will see some lines near the hut. So these are the roads, and occasionally there are, you can see evident C/N0 reduction and fluctuation. So it has to be investigated. And interestingly enough, that during COVID-19, the GBUS experiments were also implemented as well, but there were not so many RFI events at all compared to the post-COVID-19 period. So in our lab, we decided to take a look at the RFI level analysis, comparison between the stations near the airport, which is at KMITL, and then in the city, which is at DPT9 from the Department of Planning. And we also analyzed the GNSS signals at the RUTI campus, which is on the upper right picture, as you can see here. And basically, at KMITL is more like the suburban area, but it's also near the runway, near the airport. However, for the DPT9, this is right in the middle of the city. And for RUTI, this is in another province, which is supposed to be quite more remote. And so for KMIT and RUTI, we use the Novotel receivers, while for DPT9, they use the Leica receivers. So here are some RFI level analysis. First of all, if you take a look at the top figure, these are the recorded C/N0 from DPT9 stations, which is right in the city. Okay, very, very busy. On 11 June 2023, and this figure will show the signals for different satellites, G01, 02, all the way to the G30. We only extract some of them. And as you can see that at this time, also at the bottom side, at the axis, this is epoch in second. Meaning that normally if you look at the daily C/N0, from the Rhinex file or from GNSS receiver, sometimes we don't see this type of RFI reduction at all. But if you zoom in, you start to see different level of RFI involved, or different level of reduction levels of C/N0. And for example, in 11 June 2023, you see that there are some fluctuation at 1630, at 2100 second. These are second, no, not time. 30, 60, and so on. And so it's quite clear that in the city, we see this type of reduction on this specific day. And if you zoom in, it's normally not so long, like about 2 minutes, maximum 6 minutes. So it means that all these vehicles they're passed very fast. At the bottom side, you see that these are the C/N0 from 3 stations. The blue one represents the one in the city, which is DPT9. Then if you look at the red one is at KMITL. Some fluctuation, but not as strong as at DPT9 for this date. And for RUTI, it's very, very clean. So the different level depends on the receiver, but we focus on the fluctuation. So from here, we try to measure the RFI levels, and in the literature, there are different methods. Here we use basically the standard deviation, and then we flip it, and then so from C/N0, it becomes the percentage of RFI. So here, we classify the RFI level of 0 to 25% as low. 25 to 50, we classify as moderate. And above 50, we classify as severe. Then we go on to make some study in June 2023 as well. And so you can see that here we compare between the station in the city, which is DPT9, and the one at KMITL. And so the top graph is the moderate situation. So you see that for the one in the city, which is the blue area, there are cases of high moderation as well. But for both stations are quite similar. Then if we look at the severe case, it's more evident that the blue color, which stands for DPT9, we have more cases of the severe events that occur. So when we classify like this, how does it really affect the real system? So here is the preliminary results of RTK performance errors during the RFI. And so here on the top graph, you see that we have the RFI in percentage as well. You know, whenever there are very big spike, then it represents some type of severe RFI levels. And then at the bottom side, here's the RTK performance at a station near KMITL. Here we use DPT9 as the base station, and for this another station near university, this acts as a rover. So you see that for horizontal position error during these strong IFR events, there are some fluctuation as well, you know, more or less, sometimes high, sometimes low. And if you see in vertical positioning error, you see that it affects the RFI seem to coincide with these spikes in vertical positioning errors. Okay, so the next topic I would like to say is we also developed some RFI detectors based on this type of RF dongles and also mu blocks module as well. And in this project, we look at detecting power levels and detect the 0 and 0. We have two versions. The first version, we detect power level, detect the 0 and 0 of 3 frequencies, and then we try to classify the interference status. It also has camera. It also records the spectrum during the detection, as well as the GUI, and the data are stored in database via the wireless transmission or the Wi-Fi, it doesn't matter. And then for the second version, we also detect RFI levels. We also utilize some AIs as well. So for this system, we implemented and we installed at 3 organizations in Thailand. One is at the National Institute of Metrology, and thanks to Dr. Tayatip as well, who facilitated this installation. We also installed one system at the Royal Thai Survey Department, and very recently we installed at the Suvarnabhumi Airport in collaboration with the GBUS system as well. So for this system, we record peak power, average power, and whenever there's some spikes or there's some irregular events, it will be recorded, and the spectrum will be, recorded in the clouds. And we have implemented this for a few years already. One of the issues that we also question is, can AI distinguish between types of jammers? As mentioned by the previous speakers already, that there are different types of jammers, which are so easily available but illegal in many countries. So, for example, for SMA battery jammer, if you turn it on, if this type of spectrum, that just raise the level of the spectrum. And then for the USB GPS jammer, you see a different types of information, more like spikes. So here we just try to answer that if we use AI, can we separate it from these two or not? And we use the CNN, the image-based analysis. And here are some results of the confusion metrics. It looks like
Excuse me, there's no sound from your side.
Oh,
okay.
Can you?
It's fine.
Can
now.
you hear now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in Cambodia. We are installing GNSS receiver at the Institute of Technology Cambodia. So I'm a little bit reluctant on the Wi-Fi issues as well. So in summary, the RFI levels really pose as a threat, right? In the city areas, as we can see that the level of RFI is much more severe, and we can record it. We can measure this type of RFI levels or analyze it using different types of instrument. So I think more studies have to be made on how this RFI affects different technology, RTK, aeronautical navigation, SBUS, and so on. And some of the software can be downloaded from our website at the Center of Excellence in GNSS and Space Weather Center as well. And I'd like to conclude my slides here. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for Professor Bonchai for the presentations. So I think we still have time for the questions. I just have one question for you, Professor Ponchai.
Sure.
I see in your slide that you use the spectrum of the signal for image for the classifications. I wonder if you use a spectrogram with the time information or only that the photo show only the frequency characteristic.
For this part is on the frequency statistics only.
So you don't use time information that can be seen in the spectrogram image?
Not in this experiment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, so if so, then thank you, Professor Ponchai. We can move to the final presentations from Mr. Yoshiki Masu.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you have turn on the last slide from location mine? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for attending, everyone. I'm Yoshiki Matsui from Location Mind. My presentation. Oh, okay. My presentation is quite simple, so please don't worry. Yes, we have only two topics. One is the our company introduction, and second is the explanation about the one of important function in the QZSS Japanese satellite. Our company, Location Mind, is from the University of Tokyo, and we are one of the geospatial intelligence startup. We are specialized in the geospatial science, modeling for data analysis, and GNSS security. Our major customers are the large B, such like the Toyota, Docomo, NTT Data, and government such as Japan Cabinet Office, or some project in the Ministry of Defense. And also, maybe you know, Professor Shibasaki is our CTO. Yes, today I'll explain the signal authentication. This is named as the QZNMA in the QZSS satellite. This technology can secure your GNSS positioning signals and secure your navigation. Yes, this is a simple experimental result. Spoofing can affect the location fraud from 2 to 15 minutes later after the emitting, and in the first image, we are in Tokyo, but second and third image, you can see some like strange behavior in the map, and in the fourth image, the user in Paris. It takes a time. It takes several minutes, but during that time, spoofing signal is invisible, of course, without any sounds. So the detection of spoofing is very difficult for us. On the other hand, with the signal authentication technology, the user can identify the true GNSS signals and suspicious one. This is the very simple image for the scheme of signal authentication. The QZSS received the electronic signature to authenticate the GNSS signal and provides to the user. user merged their public key passed from the QZSS and to the GPS, Galileo, or other satellite signals. In this image, this is for a car. But this technology is applicable for the all mobilities, such like the trucks, vessels, or drones, and all mobile receivers, such like this. Maybe you have, most of you may have. So you are involved, most of you are involved in this technology already. All right, you may know the abstract of the signal authentication technology, but how can we use it? There are some case examples. One is for the maritime industry. Many spoofing cases are found in the maritime, such like the vessel route optimization or fisting control, or sometimes the coast invasion. This is not a third-person spoofing, but self-spoofing. The owner of this ship or captains cheats their location. Such like, hey, we are in the true trajectory in the ocean coast or the ocean route, but actually they implement illegal fishing or invasion. In the conventional system, it's very hard to detect them. They are evil behaviors, but the VDES, the next generation satellite constellation system for maritime, can detect the spoofing with signal authentication technology. So the ship owners or captains cannot cheat their location. So this system can prevent them from the such illegal behaviors in the ocean. Second one is a load pricing system. This system in progress in the several Asia countries. They try to remove the gantry for their pricing, such like in the highway or the specific roads, and use the GNSS positioning signal on behalf of the country to price their car moving. But in this system, if user cheats their location with spoofing, self-spoofing, they can on the road, highway road, or some specific road without any fees. That can be a damage for the government or system providers. But signal authentication system can prevent their self-spoofing and cheating their road fees, and sustain the trustability of this system. This one is a more advanced one for the drone. In the near future, many numbers of drones are flying in the urban area for some usage, such like the logistics, medical support, or other delivery, or such like that. But if the drone owner cheats their drone trajectory for shorten their drone passes, or their commercial activities, it can be a risk for all people in the urban city. But collaborating with the surface people flow or car flow analysis and drone trajectory control with the signal authentication, the future drone operation can be more safely. But this is in development between several companies in Japan, of course, including our company. But it can be a more valuable for our future society. Yes, that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and we can show some demo video in our exhibition booth. So if you are interested in our technology, please come to there. Thank you very much for.
Thank you for the presentations. So we have time for 1 or 2 questions. So just one question from me to make it clear. Can you go back to slide go back one more. Yeah, that's it. So as I understand that, then the QGIS satellite will broadcast the encrypted navigation message for all satellite from the other constellation also, not only QGIS, right?
Yes, exactly. This control station receive the GPS carrier or other GNSS satellite signals and make up each crypto electrical signature and provide the QGIS. So this scheme can be applicable for all satellites.
So the receiver will receive actually a duplicated and encrypted version of the, for example, ephemeris from the other satellite.
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes.
compare, as I understand, compare those two duplicated versions to figure out if the navigation message is spoof or not, right?
Yes, it's
okay.
Spoofer cannot replicate the electrical
I
segregation.
understand that
Yes,
because
yes.
you encrypted with the private key.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions?
Последняя цифра 767. Да?
Это пароль, да?
Нет, HTTPS, Zoom.
No, maybe interference. No, this is not the GNSS signal interference, but the audio
Там сотни
interference.
написано,
Okay.
какой-то кореец.
Okay. Yeah, it's time. Thank you for your attention, and our session will be finished here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Задержали, что ли?
Yeah, thank you.
Подожди, может, я не то зашел?
До этого был дядя, который, да, вещал.
Не, вот они все вещают, вот сейчас расходятся куда-то.
Okay.
Вот у тебя Sony есть или нет? Не, вот они там ходят, что-то. А? Алло. Да я вот только что еще раз перезашел. А паскод какой? 435375?
Сергей Георгиевич, вы в общий чат, в общий эфир сейчас вещаете.
Okay, so it's 11:30. About to get 11:30. So this session is a Leo PNT panel. So we have 6 panelists, including me and JJ. So the two in-person panelists and other 4 panelists are attending remotely. So we are about to get started. Okay, please show the first presentation, please. Please wait for a moment. They are trying to solve the technical problem.
Yes, so I'm now seeing the many virtual attendees on my screen. So please note that mute your mic when the presentation is going on. Pietro, are you there? Pietro? Okay. Okay, so please start with your presentation. Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is our second back-to-back session, so we're doing a little bit of running, but hopefully everyone is situated. And I know we've got a number of people online, so we do appreciate that. James Miller from NASA headquarters. I'm going to say right up front, I'm not a LEO PNT expert, but I do have 25 years of experience working GNSS systems, working for both industry and government. So I do have some thoughts and perspectives in terms of how these new systems really should be integrated into some of the larger statewide systems that are coming online. So next chart, please. Great. They always tell me this works, but it does not. Okay, here's kind of the key. LEO PNT. How does it differ really from what we know is up there already? We've got 4 global systems. We've got a couple of regional systems up there. The governments have invested. They've become utilities that are widely adopted and relied upon. However, obviously, some gaps remain. And so these companies that are building LEO PNT feel that these are areas that they can serve that the government currently is not, right? So this raises a host of questions because being a government provider, the Space Force running GPS for the United States, we want to understand and make sure there will be no interference. Spectrum interference just being one aspect of that, right? So the first rule as new systems come online is do no harm. That's compatibility. The next step is interoperability, right? We really want to have one box that might be able to take advantage of both the global systems that the governments are running and then some of these private sector smaller systems. And so we've really come to a point where there's so many of these LEO PNT companies coming online that we really have a need to understand fully, what they intend to provide. And remember, because they're private sector organizations, there may be some proprietary issues, there may be some national security issues. And so what we've attempted to do is bring all of the players together. My colleague, Jeff Auerbach, who leads the the U.S. Delegation to the International Committee on GNSS, actually brought everyone together at our last meeting to have a discussion. So all of the questions here I'm not going to go through. You've got access to them. But these are the types of information that we really felt was important to gather from these companies that are coming online. As an example, the LEO mega constellations are way beyond the LEO PNT that we're here to talk about today, right? We understand the gaps in broadband internet and the Starlink system, the new Amazon Kuiper system. I mean, it's amazing, and we can all understand the benefits. Remote sensing is another area. The P&T area, honestly, I'm not so sure about. We have had Iridium, GPS, everyone's heard of iGPS many years ago. And so there are some capabilities out there that could be added to basic GNSS, but each one is specific and each one needs to be tailored to a customer group. And from my perspective, I don't really understand yet who those customers are. You know, who is knocking on the door saying that we're not getting what we need from GPS plus kinematic service that's broadcast terrestrially. So for me, it's a very interesting development. At NASA, we want to support private sector development. We actually have a magazine called Spinoff where we take the technology, we develop it, then we hand it off to industry. And even with our communications networks, we are going to be commercializing NASA communication networks in the future. So if you take a look at LEO P&T, I think it's of interest for all of us to understand exactly, you know, what does that mean? Who is their customer base? And some of these companies won't make it. Some of them will, and it's going to be up to us as government representatives to kind of help fill in the gaps and make them successful where we can. So P&T applications, you know, we know they're challenging in some areas. I've walked in Tokyo and my blue dot is jumping around, right? We've got a lot of multipath in the urban canyons. Perhaps, okay, perhaps, you know, they're trying to fill in the gap. But the bottom line is, where are the requirements? You know, what is being missed? And from a provider, again, that's one of the key questions I have. At the ICG, this was our first attempt to bring everyone together, put all these questions on the table, and get some feedback from the actual providers. And so, because I'm not a LEO P&T service provider, I just wanted to put this chart up there because if anyone in the room has an interest to follow up, you know, I would suggest get in contact with some of these presenters, with some of these companies. I've made it easy for you. We're going to continue to have the conversation. We do believe that there's going to be value added. We just haven't quantified that yet. So bottom line, more discussions needed. We're going to continue to do some workshops. This is an exciting new area, but we have a lot of questions that remain. Thank you, Messiah.
Thank you very much, JJ. Okay, let's move on to the next panelist. Dr. Raid, are you online?
Yes, hello.
Okay, could you share your presentation slides?
Yes, certainly. One moment.
So Pietro is not online, right? Pietro, are you there? Okay, then please, Dr. Raid, proceed with your presentation.
Very good. Hopefully that's coming through on your side.
Not yet. Please wait a moment. Please wait a few seconds. I think it's going to show up here. Okay, we are now seeing. Please start.
All right, very good. So I'll say thank you so much for the invitation to speak here today. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, and thank you for the organization.
Recording
of the panel.
stopped.
Great to be a part of it. My name is Tyler Reed, and I'm co-founder and CTO of Zona Space Systems, one of the companies mentioned that's focused on fielding a dedicated commercial LEO PNT system. I'd like to begin with the landscape of how interest in the topic of LEO, at least from the perspective of the navigation community, has changed just even in the last few years. And what this slide shows is the number of times these particular words, so GPS, Galileo, Beidou, et cetera, appeared in ION GNSS, in the ION GNSS program, which, as many of you know, is one of the large navigation conference in North America. And in what I'll call kind of the pre-COVID times, so kind of 2019, the last big gathering of folks, and compare that to 2022 when sort of things really sort of started to pick up momentum again and folks were meeting in person, you can see that even in just that short period, we see a huge change in the interest in the topic of LEO. And a few observations here. We see GPS by itself perhaps having less papers. We see a growing interest in Galileo and Beidou, so more and more interest in kind of multi-constellation solutions, sustained interest in high precision, precise point positioning, and now of course we see a lot of growth in the LEO topic, even starting to rival as many papers presented on the topic of Galileo. And why is this? And in my view, it's simple. It's that there are applications looking for better PNT, and usually measured by either improved accuracy, resiliency, or security, or some combination of the above. And there's really an opportunity in LEO for PNT because of this exponential growth that we're seeing in LEO right now. And to show this exponential growth, here's a chart that shows the number of operational satellites in orbit versus time, really since the dawn of the space age. And you can see that in any given year, what is the number of satellites that are operational. And you can see this was sort of a steady increase over time, really a linear increase until about 2013, where we hit that inflection point and we see that sudden and exponential growth happening, with really all of that growth in space happening in LEO, with SpaceX being one of the contributors there, of course. And so really this is that opportunity that I think that folks are gravitating towards, not just in navigation, but in other domains as well. And what are the motivating factors for this? And I apologize, the numbers on my slide are a little bit out of date here because things are changing so quickly. But of course, data services, broadband are one of those. I think one of the poster childs of this, of these kind of new generation of mega constellations, is of course the SpaceX Starlink system. Building constellations of thousands or even tens of thousands of satellites. But we also see a lot happening in the commercial remote sensing world. So these are companies like Planet Inspire, delivering geospatial data to improve our understanding of our world. But we're really starting to see commercialization happening in navigation, with of course several companies, not just our company Zona, being very active in this, with constellations planned typically in the kind of 200 to 300 satellites, and really targeting different levels of service, different designs, and really bringing different features to different industries to close some of the gaps that were mentioned by a previous speaker. And this is really being fielded now. And since May of 2022, and apologies, this chart's already a little bit out of date, we've seen 15 LEO PNT satellite launched just in 1 year. And there's many more planned that I'm sure we'll hear about today. But I think this really shows that the rate at which this world is changing, and we're seeing these satellites being launched really in a way that are dedicated for PNT. So it's a really exciting time, I think. To give some words on the specifics of our company, Zona Space Systems, we're working towards the deployment of a commercial satellite navigation system designed really to provide the combination of global accuracy and integrity, resilience and security needed to ensure safe operation of modern technologies. So things like emerging technologies like autonomous vehicles, but of course other domains as well. We're a venture-backed startup supported by the likes of Toyota Ventures and Lockheed Martin. Of course, Lockheed builds the GPS-3 satellites today, so it's great to have their support. And the photo on the right is of our first satellite payload, which we called Human. And to solve the challenges that commercial users face, we really have to start with the user requirements. And this has been our design philosophy since day one. And we found that to address the challenges, faced in several industries, we need a system that provides, modern and adaptable security, centimeter level accuracy that really you can achieve quickly, fast convergence times, civil aviation level integrity for, emerging applications such as autonomous vehicles, but also urban air mobility and others as well. Enhancements for legacy GNSS signals, so these are things like PPP corrections, but also resistance to interference. And perhaps most importantly is that the solution has to be easy to integrate for that adoption. So something that's not too foreign to existing GNSS user equipment to integrate that in a way that's straightforward. And so our answers to this is a system that we call Pulsar. And so Pulsar is a LEO PNT system which provides accuracy through fast LEO motion of those satellites, and as well as PPP data to accelerate that convergence, resilience through L-band RNSS signals, and we're targeting 100 times stronger signals than GPS and GNSS today, which leads to that kind of easy adoption with it being an L-band, and security through data authentication and encryption of the service. And we plan to deploy the first version of this regionally over the mid-latitudes with a one-in-view LEO service to enhance GNSS with around 30 satellites, and ultimately targeting around 260 satellites to provide global PNT. And you can imagine there's a phase rollout in between those 2 points to offer various services over time as we ramp up. Our first demonstration satellite was launched in May of 2022. And at a high level, the objective of this mission was to showcase that a payload deployed on a LEO small satellite can produce PNT signals of comparable quality to GNSS. And it was really to challenge that paradigm that kind of only these big government programs can really provide something in the PNT space, and that a small company can also do something that brings value and that's interesting to commercial customers. Our tech demo mission really did a lot to validate our core technology. It successfully transmitted precision LEO PNT signals from space to ground.
Sorry to interrupt. You have 1 minute left.
Okay, very good. And really was able to showcase that kind of centimeter level, that accuracy there. Of course, satellites are just one piece of the equation. We're excited to be working with several partners, both in the receiver and the simulator space, to support our signals going forward. And just a few words. Of course, regulatory is a huge portion of this. And we're very active in the coordination of our ITU filings, which you'll see there are kind of adjacent to L1 and L5 as part of that coordination process. And of course, we're all about not causing harmful degradation to the existing GNSS systems. So with that, I think I'm at my time. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ray. Okay, let's move on to the next panelist. Joshua, are you there? Joshua?
Yes, I'm here.
Please share your presentation.
Yes. Let me... a second. And I'll swap the screen around.
Okay, we are now seeing, so please proceed.
Wonderful. Yes, well, firstly, thank you so much for the invitation to present today. It's really wonderful to be talking on this very, very fascinating topic alongside panelists that are present here today. So thank you so much. And this is actually my company's ArcEdge Space first presentation on the topic of LEO PNT. So I thought it was maybe helpful to give a bit of background, I guess, to the company itself, and then what we are already doing in PNT related technology spaces, and then where we see our contribution in future, and also raising some of the important topics that I think have been somewhat put forward by the other panelists. So thank you. Yes, so my company is from ArcEdge Space. We were originally a spin-off from the University of Tokyo, Nakasuka Manase Laboratory, which has a very strong heritage in small satellite technology. There's about 20 years of history, and the laboratory also holds a claim of one of the first CubeSats developed in the early 2000s. Solutions focused on using both 6U and 3-unit bus platforms, and we have approximately 100 employees under CEO Takayoshi Ukio. And we have quite a significant amount of heritage, even though we are still quite new. One of our first satellites being RASat with the Rwandan Space Agency. And that was mostly focused towards a capacity building program. So helping and aiding developing countries to get access to space and feel that they also are making a contribution to the sector and they're delivering services for their country with an asset they own and operate. Future missions currently in development include the VHF Data Exchange System, which is the new maritime communications standard, the next generation of AIS, or the Automatic Identification System. And I'll actually go into a few details on that later on. Also alongside ONGLISAT, which is the Taiwan Space Agency, and Comet Interceptor, which is one of our larger platforms, and that is a joint collaboration between JAXA and ESA towards Comet interception, essentially. And a lot of the benefits of our company and business is our satellite design, which, based on many long years of heritage and spinning off from more university basis, we have a very strong foundation in modularized component design, such as onboard computers, power control units, communications, etc., and being able to create a standard model bus platform that they can host payloads like a payload delivering LEO PNT related services. And this sort of shared based platform we think is necessary, I guess, to enable sort of LEO PNT and to make it deliverable. It has to be considered in a way towards shared services. And there's many other LEO PNT companies that are considering utilizing the services of broadband internet constellations to deliver low Earth orbit position navigation timing. And we have quite strong goals towards 40, 100,000 satellites over the next years to come on many different sort of technology applications. And as I've been, I guess, hinting at, many of our services come from both capacity building and IoT communications, Earth observation, all the way down to lunar infrastructure and VHF, so digitization of the maritime space and having satellite connectivity for shipping vessels. And we see those two areas, I guess, as key enablers towards resilient and high precision position navigation timing. And we consider there's kind of two sort of applications area of LEO PNT. You've got looking at mass market applications, high precision, but also looking towards more that critical infrastructure and sovereignty. My heritage is from Australia, and we don't have our own GNSS system in Australia, in though very fortuitous, I guess, of having access to all the world's GNSS systems. And I think LEO PNT has quite a strong application towards delivering maybe not the same sort of level of quality that you can get from GNSS, but some sort of degraded service that gives confidence to the country that they have control over this utility, because that's really what PNT is. It's a utility, even though it's not being described as such like power or telecommunications. It's a utility that societies rely on. But currently, I guess many nations use services from specific government actors provided as a utility for their country. One of the first solutions that we have towards position navigation timing and that we consider to be a translation towards low Earth orbit position navigation timing is the Lunar Navigation Satellite System with JAXA, which we're contributing to a concept study for. And we're using trying to collect high accuracy GNSS signals from Earth-based orbit and trying to use that to synchronize both orbit determination and timing of a lunar orbiting system. And from this sort of development, we've been shown to deliver quite accurate horizontal positioning errors down to 17.55 meters, as you can see in our diagram. And we look forward to seeing the developments of this further. But a key enabler, obviously, of any sort of mass market delivered LEO PNT service is on high accuracy GNSS service delivery. And we can translate this sort of probably much harder problem of trying to track GNSS signals around the moon and apply that to having very high accuracy orbit determination timing for a satellite in low Earth orbit to deliver the signal performances that are required for mass market applications. But another very interesting area that we consider to be a first enabler towards sort of LEO PNT services is through the VHF data exchange system. And this is, as I've mentioned, digitization or towards digitization of maritime infrastructure, enabling two-way communications between satellite and ship, compared to just ships broadcasting regular signals from the ship to a LEO-based satellite. And it has many sorts of applications, from detection of suspicious ships on the ocean, proof of origin of seafood catches, and doing search and rescue and communications between vessels that wouldn't have been enabled before. But a very interesting area that we consider maybe a first demonstration of something towards LEO PNT is the application of what is considered R mode, which is currently only being considered for terrestrial stations. But we think that there could be applications towards the spacecraft itself. And this is already an allocated frequency in the VHF waveband. A challenge for LEO PNT, we think, is the frequency allocation, and interoperability and compatibility with other users of the spectrum and services delivered by the spectrum is really important, and working together towards achieving these frequency bands. And we can see this through the maritime community in requiring additional services and support for resilience of maritime sea vessels. So for what is in L-band an easily targeted jammed spectrum, VHF is much more challenging, requiring much higher transmitting power to be able to disrupt and spoof, and can provide that sort of resilient sovereignty. So using our heritage, I guess, from lunar PNT, but also looking into maritime sort of applications, it's really on that customer delivery and those initial applications that we see a need in, to then delivering the sort of mass market applications and also critical infrastructure. Mass market being that you're using, I guess, those medium Earth orbit constellations to deliver the high accuracy orbit determination timing for the satellite on board, but also having systems that are independent from this infrastructure and acting independently, so it can be treated as a backup, and with confidence from other nations to feel that this is something that they are paying for this service, and they're going to have confidence.
Joshua, 1 minute left.
You have 1 minute left.
I'll finish up here, and so I have time for the other panelists. But thank you so much, and hopefully I've delivered some of the ideas from our side towards LEO PNT from ArcEdge. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. Okay, next panelist is from China Sense Space. Dr. Myung Liang, are you online?
Yes, I'm online.
Okay, could you share your presentation?
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me well?
Sorry, could you wait a little bit? It's not coming yet. Okay, you can start, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mingliang Xu from Beijing Future Navigation Technology Company. Today, I'd like to share the preliminary PPP experiments and future applications of Sentinel-based system. With the rapid growth of modern information industries like 5G, mobile internet, autonomous driving, and artificial intelligence, traditional meter-level precision navigation services are no longer sufficient to meet user demands. There is a rising demand for high-precision navigation services in various sectors, including traditional profession, UAV applications, consumer electronics, and the Internet of Vehicles, and the Internet of Things. These industries require positioning accuracy better than 10 centimeters. The demand for high precision positioning can be summarized as follows: positioning accuracy better than 10 centimeters and integrity better than 99.9%. Global coverage, ubiquitous availability, and continuous reliability. Cost effectiveness and user friendly. Unidirectional passive operation privacy and security considerations. Therefore, a centralized system is needed with the service feature of being as convenient as basic navigation services while providing high accuracy. The sentence-based system has two main segments, the space segment and the ground segment. The space segment consists of 190 LEO satellites divided into 3 sub-constellations. The ground segment includes multiple monitor stations, which play a vital role in systems operation. During the signal design progress, the following factors were considered. First, lower user device complexity. Second, interoperability with MEO system. Third, interoperability with geo-augmentation system. Fourth, compatibility with MEO and geo systems. Finally, the combination of L1 and L5 bands is the preferred option. In this part, I'll present the initial results of our PPP experiments using our experimental satellites. Space segment, we use 2 experimental satellites. Ground segment, 2 stations are selected. First, we can get the track compared between GNSS and LEO satellites. The left image shows the sky view tracks in one orbit arc, including both GNSS satellites and LEO satellites. The green line represents the LEO satellites, whose tracks are longer. The longer track indicates faster movement and can provide more information for the PPP algorithm. The right image shows the sky view tracks of 2 LEO satellites in 20 days. Next, we'll explore the potential of LEO augmentation for PPP. We compare the convergence time and precision in different scenarios, with and without LEO augmentation. The results clearly demonstrate the benefits of LEO augmentation, including reduced convergence time and improved positioning precision. These findings highlight the potential of LEO augmentation, and larger improvements can be achieved with more LEO satellites to be deployed in the future. In this part, we'll discuss the future applications of LEO augmentation. First, we shall accelerate the development of LEO augmented navigation basic products utilizing existing application industries, including upgrade products quickly and expand to various fields. The development of basic products includes chip development, board module development, antenna development, and terminal integration. For chip development, the functionality of LEO augmentation can be added through software upgrades while utilizing existing hardware resources without any hardware modifications. Then the application solutions can be upgraded and expanded by utilizing LEO augmentation, including traditional high-precision applications, emerging high-precision applications, transportation industry, and mass consumption. For example, for transportation industry, LEO augmentation can enhance its capability to meet new demands like autonomous driving and lane-level navigation. Finally, we'll share our development plan. Our plan is to complete the construction of the entire constellation within several years and provide worldwide augmentation navigation services. This will augment existing navigation systems and provide precise position. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next panelist with me become the final panelist. So could you share my presentation? So let me confirm again. Pietro, are you online there? Okay, then I will start my presentation. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. The title of my presentation is a preliminary study result on JAXA LEO PNT system. My name is Masaya Murata from Japanese Space Agency, JAXA.
Recording in progress.
So our LEO PNT concept is shown here. We will aim for to provide a LEO PNT augmentation for the existing GNSS, and we aim for the provision of alternative PNT service to the GNSS using the LEO PNT system. And we are now aiming to design our system to become highly autonomous by using the onboard GNSS navigation technique for the LEO satellites. So the orbit and clock information for the LEO satellite will be estimated online on board using the GNSS measurement coming from the MEO. And we especially aim to provide ultra-rapid precise point positioning, PPP service, convergence service for Earth users. So this is our LEO PNT concept. And this slide showed three features that accelerate the PPP convergence time by LEO PNT system. The first feature is because the LEO satellite moves much faster than the GNSS satellites, which yields temporary diversified measurements that accelerate the PPP convergence time. The second feature is because we're going to use a much larger number of satellites than the GNSS satellites, which yields the spatially diversified measurements that also contribute to the reduction of the PPP convergence time. And finally, because we can utilize the precise GNSS measurements to estimate the precise orbit and clock information for the LEO satellites, which result in providing the precise LEO PNT measurements for Earth users. So these three features together dramatically accelerate the PPP convergence time by using the LEO PNT system. So this slide shows our simulation results on the PPP convergence time. The upper table shows the effect of the number of LEO satellites and the signal in space error barriers on the PPP convergence time. In this table, a single circle and a double circle show the confirmed convergence times less than 3 minutes and 1 minute respectively. So as you can see, if the larger number of LEO satellites and the lower CCE becomes the higher, becomes the more rapid convergence time. And to achieve the 3-minute PPP convergence time, we selected the 240 satellite with the signal in space error 20 centimeter. So this condition was selected as our phase 1 LEO PNT system. And to achieve the 1-minute PPP convergence, we selected the 480 LEO satellite with the signal in space error with 10 centimeter. So we're going to do this phase development approach to complete the LEO PNT system. For your reference, if we just use the GPS satellite, the PPP convergence time was about 25 to 30 minutes. So comparing these numbers, we can actually observe the rapid, significant reduction of the PPP convergence time. And this slide shows our phase 1 LEO PNT constellation plan. We aim for 2030 using the 240 satellites. We're going to use a global Walker constellation with the inclination 55 degrees, altitude 975 kilometers. And we're going to aim for the CCM of 20 centimeter by using the GNSS onboard navigation technique for LEO satellites. And then, as shown in this table, we aim to achieve the 10 centimeter level horizontal PPP convergence less than 3 minutes with a probability of 99%. And to provide the PNT signal, we are now we are now interested in using a C-band as shown here to become interoperable with the other LEO PNT systems. And this slide shows the phase 2 or LEO PNT phase 2 concept plan using 408 satellites. Again, the global Walker constellation and using 408 satellites. And this time, we aim to achieve the CC of 10 centimeter by both using GNSS onboard navigation plus and on-ground POD, precise orbit determination. So using this constraint, we aim to achieve the 10 centimeter level horizontal PPB conversion less than 1 minute with a probability around 75 or 80%. So regarding the on-ground POD, this one is categorized in our phase 2, so we aim in 2035 that this on-ground POD is to achieve the CC level 10 centimeter. So we're gonna deploy the network of low PNT dedicated Earth stations, and these Earth stations will receive low PNT navigation signal, and which enables the in-depth analysis of this signal, and based on them, the Earth station will calculate the POD and uplink to the level satellite and propagate using intersatellite links. So using this concept, we are trying to achieve the CC level, challenging the CC level 10 centimeter. The number of necessary stations on ground and their optimal distribution are currently under study. So to conclude, the JAXA studied the design of the low PNT system, and our initial design results were shown in this talk. Our phase 1 low PNT system aims to provide the ultra-rapid PPP convergence service less than 3 minutes by the onboard GNSS navigation for the LEO satellites. At phase 2, we aim to provide the PPP convergence less than 1 minute by also using the LEO PNT dedicated ground stations and their on-ground PLD reloads. And we intend to design our system to be interoperable and compatible with the other LEO PNT system under development. So we are happy to join such international interoperability discussion. Thank you very much. So we have 15 minutes left. So let me confirm again. Pietro, are you online? Seems not. Then let's move on to the QA. And I will start with my question to every panelist. The first question is this one. The GNSS is an essential infrastructure for providing PNT service, and government agencies are in charge of their respective systems. On the other hand, the LEO PNT systems are expected to be primarily operated by private companies. How do you think about the coexistence of the GNSS and LEO PNT system? And how do you seek for the effective collaboration between them? Okay, I'd like to start with JJ.
Thank you, Messiah. I think the coexistence is already starting, right? Your presentation is the perfect example. You're with a government agency and you are looking to work with industry, and I think a lot of our success in the future is going to be based on public-private partnerships, right? And so the fact that you are so eager to work with industry, I think will stimulate interest. We'll continue to have these discussions within the International Committee on GNSS and other forums, and just thank you for that.
Thank you very much, JJ. Dr. Reid, are you still there?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. It's a great. I think that's a great question, and JJ, I think we share a similar sentiment to you. And I think in terms of these systems coexisting, the kind of the MEO systems are really we see as like the backbone of kind of navigation for everyone, and the LEO systems really adding to that to really bring new capability that augments that, or in specific ways for specific industries. And I think we've already seen today several different flavors of that, which I think are targeting different needs for different user groups and under a different lens. And so in terms of these sort of being interoperable and sort of coexisting, I think it comes down to the use cases and how these systems play together to play off each other to bring the most to the end user at the end of the day. And sort of how that plays out, I think it's sort of uncharted territory right now, and I think we're all sort of part of that journey right now together.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Reid. Joshua, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, could you provide your comment?
Yeah, so that was a very interesting question, and I probably do also share the same sentiments, JJ and Tyler. I do think that GNSS services are an absolute complement and backbone of any LEO PNT system, and especially to deliver the high accuracy needs of some user groups. An interesting, I guess, perspective I do want to share is I think PNT is the criticality of it is really rising in presence for many governments across the world, including ones that own GNSS and ones that don't own GNSS. And I think we're starting to see PNT really maturing as a utility itself that is essential for user groups. And currently other utility sectors, you have many companies operating in the sector to provide these systems and to give governments, I guess, the sovereignty and assurance that this isn't just being provided by foreigners, but this is something we own. And I think that private companies can play a really important role in giving that confidence and resilient security for governments across the world that may be provided just by individual countries' governments, and then providing that as a free service maybe cannot provide. So I think that GNSS is absolutely essential and an important complement, but private companies do have a role to play in maturing the sector and providing more of this resilient and sovereignty, I guess, piece that we can offer then to other countries around the world to make sure that their systems are continuous and reliable and they have some control over them.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Dr. Min Liang, could you provide your comment?
Yes. I think it's a great question, and I try to answer. One of the primary modes of operation for LEO PNT is to enhance GNSS systems with proper frequency compatibility and ensuring no mutual interference. Both systems can coexist and complement each other in long term. The LEO system can be regarded as an important auxiliary infrastructure for PNT. In terms of collaboration, the LEO system can utilize GNSS system signals to provide GNSS satellites with more accurate orbit determination results. This collaboration has the potential to assist the GNSS system in improving the performance of its basic navigation services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So from my viewpoint, I think LEO PNT will become the augmentation for the existing GNSS, and which is going to provide an alternative PNT service to the GNSS. So I'm pretty sure that the coexistence between the GNSS and LEO PNT system will continue, and especially our system. We're going to estimate our orbit and clock using precise GNSS measurements coming from MEO. So this kind of combination, like a collaboration between GNSS and LEO PNT system, is essential for, especially for our system. So the collaboration between the GNSS and LEO PNT system is becoming more important from now. Okay, we still have 10 minutes. Okay, I want to hear some comments or questions if you have any question or comments from the floor. Okay, please.
I think he's giving you a microphone for the people online.
Thank you very much. Could you come here? Thanks so much.
First of all, thanks to all the presenters for the really great information. Just a quick comment. I was one of the organizers of the workshop in June of 2023. The cover slides for which J.J. Miller showed at the beginning of his talk. So for those interested in the detail in those slides, those are all posted on the ICG portal. You can see the entire slide deck and all the presentations.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other question, comment from the floor? If no, I have a second question to every panelist. So I think the interoperability and compatibility among the LEO PNT systems will become an important issue. And in my view, such a discussion has not been yet so active in the PNT community. What is the benefit we will enjoy from pursuing the LEO PNT interoperability, and how should we guarantee the compatibility among different LEO PNT systems? So, JJ, could you provide your perspective?
So I think I brought up one of my concerns as a government official with this myriad of systems going up by private companies that spanned a lot of nations. And so in that regard, coordination becomes a little bit more challenging. Within the government, we have the Space Frequency Coordination Group. If you were in our Lunar P&T session, you heard a presentation there where space agencies are able to coordinate. If you have private companies that have proprietary concerns and they're going to be broadcasting on different frequencies, you know, that is a fundamental question. You know, how will they file and work within the World Radio Conference? And you know, you're assuming that you can get everyone to agree to certain frequency bands. You just showed your 5 gigahertz plans, and you know, other companies may be different. So I think the most important thing is to stay transparent as we can, and make sure that we go through the formal ITU processes, and then again take advantage of these ICG type forums so that we're informally communicating before we come to these formal meetings.
Thank you very much. Dr. Reid, could you provide us your comment?
Yeah, it's a really great question, and to maybe answer the first part of that, you know, what are the benefits we might enjoy from that interoperability? Well, I think we see a flavor of that today with the interoperability of the other GNSS systems and the benefit that it brings to have, you know, multi-constellation. So having all of these systems available to kind of really kind of boost the kind of availability of PNT in a variety of different sort of industries, I think is a great benefit to the end user. To how to ensure compatibility, that's a great question as well. And I think that I share the same sentiment as JJ is. I think there's really great mechanisms out there for these channels for communication, for these channels for you know, doing this kind of compatibility together through the ITU, through the ICG, through meetings like this for enabling that kind of informal communication. And I think that from what we've seen so far is, you know, we're all after the same thing, which is, you know, improving, you know, PNT for the end users out there. And so as long as we work together on this, it seems like a surmountable challenge if we work together. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Joshua, could you provide your comment?
Yes, this is another really fantastic question, and I do think it's absolutely essential. There is interoperability, compatibility between systems. Additionally, I think it's important that the industry, LEO PNT is a very young topic, even though we're seeing systems being developed and demonstrated. And there's reasons why we're developing LEO PNT systems. And that is to serve both mass market applications, but also to improve resilience of PNT itself. And I think that there's a lack of still awareness in the public consciousness towards the potential that mass market and higher accuracy and higher integrity will deliver for their applications, as well as a lack of awareness of the vulnerabilities of PNT infrastructure today. And we as a community have a duty to educate the public and make sure that they are aware of these issues and work together to say we're all interacting and having systems that are compatible with each other to solve these fundamental challenges that face the world today. Because in my honest personal opinion, I think that the sort of vulnerabilities and challenges of GNSS we're seeing today is only a start of what's going to happen over the next years. So I think that these are really fundamental, important conversations to have, and we should all work together and interact together to make sure that our systems are compatible with each other, but also to educate the community towards the challenges that PNT faces.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Mianliang, please.
In my opinion, the advantage of compatibility and interoperability between LEO systems are comparable to those of current GNSS systems. One benefit is the standardization of user terminals in terms of hardware, while another advantage is the ability for users to obtain improved navigation results. To ensure the compatibility, I consider the selection of signal frequency bands to be of utmost importance. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. From my viewpoint, I think the interoperability, compatibility for the LEO PNT satellite systems will become very, very important. Like ICG is gonna hold such a meeting this June, maybe. So that kind of using that kind of conference or meeting, we can exchange the technical details between our respective system and pursue the potential interoperability and compatibility. Very fascinating work to do from now. So JAXA, we are now very happy to join such international interoperability discussion. So we are looking forward to the more discussion coming later this year. Okay, you have comments? Question?
So I just have one question, if I may, for any of the providers that's interested to answer. You know, Japan built QZSS to resolve certain issues with processing GPS in the urban canyons and overcoming multipath and so forth. And they've been very successful right now, moving towards a constellation of 11. So that's an example of the government making GNSS more available to everyone. Now, with the European Union's Galileo system, they had plans for a commercial service that was going to be more precise and more resilient, and yet the subscriber foundation for that they could not make a business case. And so, you know, we've backtracked on that a little bit, although everyone will still benefit from the commercial service or whatever the commercial service becomes. In the case of LEO PNT, what is the business case, or what type of subscription basis do you foresee? I look at DirecTV. DirecTV used to be very popular. Now with all streaming, it is suffering, right? It's losing subscribers. And so with all these companies coming up with these great ideas for LEO PNT, is anyone comfortable at this point to provide any kind of example of a subscription type service that they feel would be supported?
Thank you very much, JJ. So it's 12:30, so let's conclude this panel with applause for everybody. Thank you very much.
You did not let them answer the question.
Oh, sorry. It was great. Sorry, I was too nervous. Okay, so let's hear answers to the JJ question. Do you have any comments? Well,
it's for the providers that are our panelists, our fellow panelists. If someone's comfortable to answer that, what is the return on investment? How will they recoup their cost? Because they're investing a lot in this type of application.
Okay.
So they must show their company. They're private sector companies, right? So, what is is it a subscription service? Is it a public-private partnership? We've heard nothing about how the business case will be laid out.
Okay. Okay, Tyler, do you have any comments on JJ's question?
Yeah, it's a great question, JJ, and could definitely spend a whole half an hour just on an answer to that question for sure. But to give kind of a flavor of this, I mean, there are many examples of folks paying for improvements in GNSS service today. So, for example, the correction service providers, there's a well-established market there in that domain, even all the way down to the smartphone domain with GNSS to make those receivers work. And that's a question we often get from folks is, how do you get people to pay for something that's already free? And the answer is that a lot of industries are already paying for enhancements in GNSS, and they're all looking for ways to take that next step to the next level of service. And with what's out there today, there's not a lot of sort of developments that are because you're sort of limited by what those signals can provide. And so we've seen interest really across many industries. Of course, there are going to be sort of the early adopters, which are the traditional, early adopters of the GNSS technologies. But I'll say we definitely see the market for this from a commercial standpoint as to a service that's provided on a commercial basis to sustain the what's needed to sustain that constellation and sustain the service. As far as who's the early adopters, I think that there's the classic early adopters out there, but we've really seen interest across all industries, including some that might surprise you, including, for example, mass mobile. Really looking for how you integrate something that's simple to integrate, but that brings a lot of value, because if you can change the infrastructure without changing the actual end device to really bring something new to the table, I think that brings a lot of value, and that's where we've seen people move on that front. But happy to take the chat offline, JJ, as well, too.
Okay. Let me say thank you very much. I think that's just an important aspect of the overall evolution of LEO PNT, and thank you to the panelists.
All right, then let's conclude with applause to everybody attending this panel. Thanks so much. Okay. And also thanks to the remote participation people. Thank you very much. So that's it. But, okay, it was a wonderful panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.